Okay, good morning. Here is notes. We're on page 10 of the notebook. Down in the bottom right-hand corner, it says 10. So in the upper right-hand corner, if you haven't already, we're going to put integers and absolute value. Okay? The title always goes in the upper outside corner. So here we go. The first thing I want you to do is I want you to draw a number line. Now, I personally prefer my number lines to have their lines as close to being exactly the same as possible. So I'm going to turn my notebook sideways. You don't have to if you don't want to. But I'm going to make a number line. And I'm just going to use this nice red line since it's already there. And I'm going to go across. And there we go. And then I'm going to pick my middle. And there's my 0. So this is going to be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And so let's go 20, 40, 60, 80. Whoops. Boy, I'm good. 10, 20, 30. I was going to number every other and I forgot. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Now, this way we're going to go negative. So this is negative 10, 20, negative 30, negative 40, negative 50, negative 60, negative 70, negative 80, negative 90, and negative 100. Okay, so now we have that done. The numbers that I want you to plot onto your number line are as follows. 50, negative 50, and a positive 10, negative 80, negative 20, $40, $100, negative 90. So let's put these on here, shall we? Negative 50. We're going to go to the negative. There's the 50. So we put a dot. Notice that I'm putting the dot on the line. Not above the line, not below the line. It goes on the line. Okay, positive 10 goes here. Negative 80, so that's 70. This would be 80. Okay, negative 20. Boom, not difficult. Positive 40. Shazam. Positive 100. La 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 la. And negative 90. There we go, negative 90. It's not difficult. This is plotting the points. All we did was put the dot on the number line. Now the next one is going to be a little bit more brain stretchy. Okay, so again, draw another number line just like what you did. Whee! And then again, 100 to a negative 100. So we're going to go, here's my negative 10, 20, 30, 40, negative 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And then over here we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. All right. Now this is what we're going to do. We're going to do absolute value. Okay? So absolute value. The sign for absolute value is this. And there's a number in there. So we're going to plot the absolute value of 60, the absolute value of 20, the absolute value of negative 40, the absolute value of 80 and the absolute value of negative 30. Okay? So, absolute value. Here's the thing you have to remember about absolute value. It's how many jumps from 0. Okay? Here's my 0. So, how many jumps from 0? To get to negative 60, we're going to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 to get there. Can you jump negative? No. We're not jumping backwards. Okay? Remember our definition of a negative number. A negative number is less than 0. If you jump even one time, you are now more than 0. So you cannot jump negative times. That's my definition for you. So, absolute value, never a negative answer. Seriously, never a negative answer. So what's the absolute value of negative 60? It's going to be positive 60. What's the absolute value of 20? Positive 20. Even though this is positive, it's still 20 because it's 10, 20 jumps. That's it. Negative 40 is going to be positive 40. 80 is going to be positive 80. And the absolute value of negative 30 is positive 30. See? Every single one of the answers are on the positive side of the number line. So, we've done integers and absolute values. Part of integers is knowing that there are opposites. Okay? And we already have a vocabulary word, opposite integers. Those are the integers that are the exact same distance away from 0. So watch this. Let's make a small number line. Okay. Here's my 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I didn't make it even. All right. So let's look at opposites. Give me the opposite of negative 1, the opposite of 3, and the opposite of 5. Okay? Well, the opposite of negative 1. See, we go 1. Oops, I should put my negatives here. Don't forget to put your negatives. It really drives me crazy, and you'll get it wrong if you go on to 7th grade and 8th grade in high school and not do that. Okay. We went negative 1 this way, so that's 1 jump, so it has to be the same distance. So, I'm going to write opposites up here so we remember what this is. Opposite of negative 1 is positive 1. What's the opposite of 3? 1, 2, 3, negative 3. And the opposite of 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Those are opposites, okay? Not very difficult. Now the last thing I want to ask you is, do you have to have the 0 in the middle? I put my 0 in the middle on all of these. Do I have to have Do I have to have the 0 in the middle? No, I do not. Watch this. We're going to make another number line, and I'm just going to put the lines. You also don't have to count by 1, right? Up here we counted by tens. So we can choose what to count by depending on what the data says that we need to plot on it. So if I say that we need to plot negative 7, negative 2, here let me put them in boxes, it's easier to see. Negative 7, negative 2, negative 10, negative 5, and 0. Okay, so I need, if I'm going to put my 0 here, then I'm going to have to count by something other than 1, because that would only give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I need to get all the way to negative 10. So I could either count by, you know, 2s or 3s or 5s or something, or I could move my 0, because look, I have no positive numbers. So I could actually put my 0 right there. Boom. Negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I got exactly 10. So that would work. 4, 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, and negative 10. So now I'm going to plot. There's my 0. There's my negative 5. There's my negative 10. There's my negative 2. And there's my negative 7. Okay? So 0 can be anywhere, and you don't have to count by ones. Okay, thank you so much. We're going to move on to the next page.